Hey everyone, Kerry Beck here with Family eBiz, where we help families start and scale online businesses so they can have the freedom in their life to do what they're called to do. And we are going to be talking about calling that today and over the next several weeks. We are talking about confidence in our business. And another word we use for that is imposter syndrome. Some of y'all are not putting things out because you want it perfect. Some of you are like, just keep doing busy work and never get where you want because you're just wondering, who am I to be doing this? I'm not good enough, or I'm going to fail and everyone will know I'm a fraud. This episode is for you if that is something that you have faced. And I want to tell you, pretty much all entrepreneurs go through this. I know I still at times do. And it's like, why are they buying this from me? And yet I know it helps and I know it works. And yet I still question myself at times. So you're not alone. In fact, imposter syndrome shows up most often in high achievers. And if you're trying to have an online business, you are a high achiever. Did you know people like Jennifer Lopez have talked about, oh, I mean, she sold millions of albums and she still questions herself. And Meryl Streep, how many Oscars has Meryl Streep won? And she's like, I think they're going to figure out I'm a fraud and take these all back. So it's because people that are high achievers, they care deeply about whoever it is they are serving. They are pushing into new territory like you. So let's normalize this. You give practical ways to fight back with truth, or we're going to talk about practical ways that you can fight back with truth and with strategies and confidence. Naomi is typical of a person that's getting started. And I was looking at, where is this from? University of Queensland and Imposter Syndrome Institute. She has years of experience in her field, a proven track record, small but growing audience, on the edge of creating something big, launching a premium course that could easily bring her 25,000 a month. But every time she gets ready to pull that trigger, that little internal voice in here is saying, I'm not expert enough. Who do I think I am? So what does she do? Oh, she tweaks her website a little more, creates a new logo, signs up for a new course, and she never launches. She never launches. Or maybe she launches, but she launches small and she doesn't go all the way. And you might be able to relate to that. And I just want to tell you right now, if that is where you are doing a disservice to that small but growing audience. They deserve your help. They deserve whatever it is you know at this point in time. You're withholding help from them that could get them further in whatever it is. For me, it's homeschooling. I have people in the health industry. So getting their life healthier. There's all different ways that we can help. And in this, you have been called to do this, I believe. And to fulfill your calling, you're going to need to serve and help and teach whoever it is that's in your audience and get your products out there. And we're going to talk next time about pricing because that's another problem we have. Entrepreneurs like Naomi, they say, according to the University of Queensland, are losing an average of $300,000 a year in potential revenue because of mindset blocks, especially imposter syndrome and perfectionism. So, what can we do to change this? Let's talk about a couple things. One idea that I personally use is I speak truth to my soul. Um, Y'all may go, that's New Ages. Y'all know I'm a believer. I'm faith-based. No, it's actually in the Bible as well. That was probably the first place. There's a man named David. He was a king back in the other days, and he would speak to his soul and speak truth. What is that negative thought that you need to replace? I'm not good enough. We need to flip it on its coin and say, I have this I have this information that has changed my life and others. I need to get it out there. And I would encourage you to write down whatever the two or three negative thoughts are. And then write a truth statement, the opposite of that, and say it out loud every morning for at least 30 days. Did you know there's a thing called neuroplasticity? It can change the way you think. You grow new brain cells every night. And so if you are saying these words, and I believe it's important to say it out loud, then then it will become a part of who you are, and it will literally change the way you think. And there are scientific studies. Carolyn Leaf is an expert in this. She's a neurosurgeon, I believe, and she has done so much research and so encouraging. Her book, I can't Switch on Your Brain by Carolyn Leaf, and we'll put that in the comments so that you'll have that if you want to learn more about retraining your brain and get rid of that imposter syndrome. Another thing that you can do is create a wins folder. What do I mean by that? Go and take screenshots of testimonials or emails that people say, oh, this was so helpful. And maybe milestones that you've hit. Put a folder in there when you sold your first product, or your podcast downloads, or how many attendees you had on a webinar, that type of thing. If you have kind DMs or comments from your community, put all of that in a folder on your written out or whatever you want to do. Every time that little voice of doubt creeps in, go to your wins folder and start seeing the truth about your impact. You're not a fraud. You're a work in progress who is already helping people. Keep this on your desktop or on your phone notes so that you've got it with you. Make it easy to access, especially on those hard days, especially when you don't feel like getting out of bed sometimes. We can replace those negative thoughts by going to the positive ones and starting to see. And I will tell you, testimonials have really helped me see the transformation that my course, Raising Leaders Not Followers, has in these homeschool moms. And it has been so encouraging, and it has given me more confidence. So it doesn't have to be huge. Some of it started with just an email saying, oh, this lesson really helped me. So whatever people are saying to you, keep it in a folder. So wins folder and truth statements to replace the negative imposter syndrome. Now, did you know that sometimes even CEOs feel like frauds? It is said that 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point in time, not just beginners. We're talking successful SEOs, surgeons, researchers, award-winning writers. John Steinbeck, he experienced imposter syndrome. Jodie Foster, I was reading something from Jodie Foster one time, and she won the Academy Award. And she said afterwards, she goes, I kept thinking they're going to knock on the door and say, oh, we made a mistake. Meryl Streep gets this and take it away. These are award-winning people, and they still deal with imposter syndrome. One woman, a tenured professor and published scientist, admitted she sometimes thinks, I've just fooled everyone this far. And that's sort of how you feel. We need to get rid of that thought and gain confidence. Success doesn't erase self-doubt. If you listen to my coach, Amy Porterfield, she deals a lot better, but she said in the beginning, she really dealt with imposter syndrome and has had to really work on herself and her mental attitude to overcome that. But just because you have a doubt does not determine how far you're going to go. So we need to reframe the narrative. Oh, great. Oh, my screen just went white. Now it's back, and it went white again. So instead of saying I'm a fraud, say I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm showing up to serve. If you're multitasking, come back. Instead of thinking you're a fraud or a fake, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm showing up to serve. This isn't just fluffy affirmation. It is truth, and you are learning to serve the people with your expertise. You do not have to be perfect. You just need to be present, and then start thinking about things that have changed over time. Journaling is another thing you can do. And I shared I don't have it sitting here. I shared last week my little 5-year journal. And that is so encouraging because I read what I wrote the 3 or 4 years before, or however many years it is at that point in time. And it really helps me see the changes that have gone on in my mindset. Think about it, even small ones. I answered a tough client question confidently. I finally sent the email that I've been crafting forever. Here's one for me. I showed up on Facebook Live every week for 3 or 4 years, even though I was nervous. And I really did do that until I started producing a podcast. But those are the kinds of things. Write it down, journal it. Again, neuroplasticity. You say that thing out loud, it's going to change the way your brain is thinking. You got all those little neurons going on. We got to change the way they're working. So let's bring it all together with a quick recap and some action steps. Start with that wins folder. Collect screenshots, messages, reviews, milestones. Proof silences the lies. Then write down your 3 things that are negative and replace it with truth and say those out loud every day for the next 30 days, maybe even longer. And then journal the I did it anyway wins. It may not have been perfect. And one of my mentors from, 20 years ago, Dan, can't think of Dan's last name, but he always says, good is good enough. You're never going to get it perfect. Good is good enough. So go from what if they find out if I'm not good enough to the truth. I'm serving people with what I know right now. I'm serving people with the truth of what I know right now. Don't wait to feel ready. Clarity comes through action. Confidence comes through action. So I would love it if you, wherever you're listening to this, if there's a place to leave a comment and tell me one moment this week that you helped someone. Just one moment. All right. Leave a comment, big or small, no matter what, it counts. And then share this podcast. I bet you have a business friend that is struggling with this and sort of wonders if they're a fake or not. Would you please share this podcast with them? And stay tuned because next week we're going to be talking about the fear of visibility, how you can show up boldly, even if you feel exposed. Hey, I am Kerry Beck with Family eBiz. We'll talk to you next time.